Now, as earlier seen in the first part, we saw the arrangement of the dead cells in the xylem right away from the roots up, stem, leaves. Then these cells that form the xylems do not therefore contain the nucleus. Remember, they are dead. And because they are dead cells, then they do not have the nucleus and the cytoplasm. They lack the nucleus and the cytoplasm. Maybe, just a recap, one of the functions of the nucleus is to regulate the activities that take place inside the cell. That is one of the functions of the nucleus. It controls the activities that take place inside the cell. Now, the absence of the nucleus in the xylem is critical because it is transporting water. So if the nucleus were to be there, then message or communication will be made such that part of the water will be used out by the xylem vessels. So because of the absence of the nucleus, the pumping or the movement of the water from the roots up the stem, up to the leaves, takes place inside the cells, which are not at all interfering with the water dispersal through them. So the absence of the nucleus and the cytoplasm is an added advantage because it makes it possible for this water to be transported without any communication along the way. The xylem vessels also are very narrow vessels, and this is what we call capillarity. Now, if you place a straw in a bottle of soda, we have two straws. One is a wider straw, another one is a narrower straw. You discover that the liquid will rise fastest in the narrower straw as compared to the wider straw. The reason is because the narrower straw has a higher capillarity as compared to the wider straw. So in the same way, the xylem vessels are very narrow, and because of the narrow nature, there is increased capillarity, and this makes it possible for the water to be able to move to the highest level of the plant. I just mentioned about the height of the plants that we have in the vicinity, very tall trees, and because of that, then you will expect a lot of challenge transporting water up a tree that is several meters up the ground. So that happens because of the narrowness of the xylem vessels, such that the water moves through very fast to the uppermost unit of the plant. Now, the walls of the xylem also contain deposits of complex structural materials known as the lignin and cellulose. The walls that form the xylem vessels are what we call lignin and cellulose. These are complex structural materials that add the strength to the xylem vessels. Now, if you are to remove the one xylem vessel from the plant, let's say a tree that is about 20 meters, you will discover that it will be very difficult for this particular vessel to stand upright. Because one is very narrow, and then two, it's also very, very long. So it may not be able to stand upright. So to add strength to the walls of the xylem vessels, we have deposits of materials known as lignin and cellulose. Sometimes in biology, you hear or might meet this in the writings, they say lignified walls. You read somewhere where they say the xylem vessels are lignified. Then that term lignified comes from the word lignin, the material that is used for the strengthening of the xylem vessels. Those are the dead cells, that's the xylem. Look at them. These are the openings through which the water is not transported. And remember that this particular diagram here is at a very high magnification. Don't think these are as wide as they would appear in a plant at level. This has been magnified several times so that you can be able to compare the way they are. Otherwise, under normal circumstances, you can be able to see the xylem vessels in our normal eyes. Now, the lignin on the walls of the xylem provides strength, and therefore this prevents them from collapsing under any pressure. Remember that these xylem vessels are inside the stem and the tree, and we have a lot of flowers, we have a lot of leaves, we have so many fruits that have the plant. So when all these materials are hanging on the same stem, then you expect a lot of pressure on that particular stem. So the lignin present in the xylem is able to offer extra strength to the xylem vessels so that they don't collapse when such kind of pressure is exerted on them. Now the cellulose in this particular walls is actually saccharide. This one has a lot of fiber and it gives extra strength to the plant. So if an examiner will ask you to name the structural materials that are found in the wall of the xylem, then there are two. We have lignin and cellulose. Lignin and cellulose are the strengthening materials, the walls of the xylem. That is exactly what I've just said, that we add some extra strength. We refer to them as the strengthening materials because they add some weight, they add some extra strength to the plant to be able to withstand any possibility of pressure that comes from the various organs, including roots, big branches, and also the leaves. Some of the leaves are normally very big and very juicy. They carry a lot of water. So because of that, too much pressure on the stems. So the xylem contains the lignin and cellulose and adds extra strength. Now, these xylem vessels also have what we call pitted walls. Pitted walls. That means their walls have got what we call pits. P-I-T. Pits. Now, pits are actually small openings on the sides of the xylem. Small openings on the sides of the xylem. These particular openings allow for the lateral movement of water that does cells. Remember, we say the xylem vessels are composed of dead cells. But the adjacent cells, the cells around the xylem, these xylems are not just exposed on their own. They are surrounded by other living cells. So because of the presence of the living cells, the surrounding living cells need that water. So the xylems contain the pits which allow this water which is passing through the xylem vessels to be able to pass and be able to reach the neighboring cells. So all the cells which will be surrounding the xylem vessels will access the water up. Remember, one of the functions of water, the plant, is to add some extra strength to the plant and also maintain the upright nature of the plant, especially the less woody plants, the shrubs and the herbs. If you look at the flowers in our gardens, they don't have the wood. So because of the absence of the wood, they depend on the water for the support. So this water passing through the xylem, part of it will be able to move to the adjacent cells and therefore provide the extra strength that is required to be able to maintain these particular steps or the herbs upright nature. So basically, that is how xylem vessels are adapted to carry out different functions. Remember, someone can be able to ask you, an examiner can ask you to give the adaptations of the xylem vessel for its functions. Maybe from a diagram, they might ask you to identify the xylem vessel. I showed you the xylem vessel is towards the inner part, the phloem is towards the outer part, and the two are separated by a cambium layer. So the arrow may point at the inner part, they ask you to identify the type of tissue, that will be the xylem tissue. Then they might ask you to give maybe 2 or 3 adaptations for the selected region for the functions it performs. We just discussed about the adaptations of these particular cells. Dead cells which are joined together. Then we also have the presence of the pits and also the lignification of the walls that adds extra strength to the xylem vessels. Thank you very much for your time.